Hey there folks, on today's show we're going to be talking about the Hennessy Hammock Scout Zip Edition. That's what's up! Okay folks, well, I went on ahead and hung up the hammock and staked it out. It's a great looking hammock, it really is. I really like the way the Hennessy is cut and the way it's hung. It just looks really, really nice. It is about 3 pounds according to my scale, and that's including the stuff sack. And what that essentially came with was the hammock, and of course you've got your attached bug net, you've got your ridgeline organizer on the inside there. That comes with a shock cord that guides it out. You've got the cordage that it is attached to. It is a pretty heavy duty cord. I'm assuming that it's got to be some sort of nylon cord maybe, because it does to me feel like it has a little bit of stretch. Let me kind of do a little walk around here for you, just so you can kind of get an idea of what you're looking at. Now Hennessy has been in the game of making hammocks for quite a long time. So they've had quite a bit of time to perfect their system. And it's a tried and true brand of camping hammock. A lot of people know them, a lot of people respect them. I would say that Hennessy is probably the most commercially successful hammock maker in the business right now. So let me go ahead and tell you a little bit about myself. I'm about 5'6" tall and I weigh about 175 pounds. Hennessy Hammock's website essentially says that this hammock is going to be no good for anyone over 5'8" or for anyone over 150 pounds. And I just don't necessarily think that that is the case. I mean, you can kind of get a general idea of how long this hammock really is, and it can clearly hold more than that. Maybe they are just sort of encouraging people to go ahead and upgrade, get the next biggest model, which I believe is the Expedition ASIM. If you are looking for a very functional, all-in-one solution, you can pretty much find it in this particular hammock. You don't really have to upgrade to the next level because this one will work. It's a good hammock. So, as you can see, the fit and finish on this hammock is really pretty phenomenal. Some people might actually call this a beginner's hammock. I'm not really sure why they call it that, because if you can get a top quality, heavily refined, all-in-one, all-inclusive package, I don't really see what you would have to gripe about, honestly. But that's what they say. But I don't listen to they very often. And if you are in any way, shape, or form a smaller stature person, the Hennessy Hammock Scout Zip is an excellent choice in my opinion. Now this is sort of a Hennessy exclusive. Hennessy bundles up their ends as to not expose all their suspension knots and stuff from the hammock, and it also helps clean it and tidy it up quite a bit as well. I really, really enjoy the way that looks. It keeps it clean, it keeps it neat, and it keeps everything kind of out of the way. Now here we have another hook on a prusik. And this is actually what your rainfly will attach to. I'm going to hook that up here right now and give you guys a look. All right, so we've got the rainfly pitched, and I've got it pitched extremely tight, just to kind of give you an idea of the type of coverage you're going to be able to expect with the standard fly that comes with the hammock. Now, if you had another tarp that you had planned to, work out of, this is going to work just fine. But if you are more of the prepper mindset, and being extremely lightweight and mobile is key, then this is going to suit you just fine. If you were just looking to get out of the rain, this is perfect. I would say that underneath there, from this end, we've got about 4 to 5 inches worth of clearance. And like I said, with it pitched extremely taut, unless this wind is coming in sideways and from the ends, you're not going to do too bad. Now, if you do a lot of outdoor activities and you really like to cook, to really play in the woods, this is not going to be so good. I love the woods, but this, in my opinion, is just not going to provide me with nearly the amount of coverage that I'm going to need for my gear or my cooking setup. There's just not that much room to cook under here. I am certainly not saying that there's anything wrong with this setup. That would be misleading, because there's not. It is what it is. It is a ultralight, quick, fast, and in a hurry shelter. So while this one comes free with the hammock, you can ultimately upgrade and get their hex tarp, which is an extremely popular choice with the people at hammockforums.net. This is not much more, like I said, than 3 pounds for the tree straps, the rope that it comes with, the rain fly, the hammock, the built-in bug net, your ridgeline organizer, all the mitten hooks, all the shock cord to guide this thing out. But if you are concerned with prepping and maybe stealth camping, this has an extremely low profile. So if you're trying to minimize your footprint, trying to stay as incognito as possible, this could be an extremely viable option. And at the price point of only $99, it's not going to drain your wallet like some of the other hammocks that are currently available on the market. Another thing that's really handy about this particular hammock is that when the weather clears up, or you're not worried about protecting yourself from the shade anymore, as long as it looks nice outside, you can undo the tie-out point and flip the rain fly over on top of itself and get it out of your way. That way you can be prepared for when it begins to rain without always having to have it directly over top of you and smothering you to death. Taking a look at how this thing is actually put together, what you end up getting is 4-foot tree straps to wrap around the tree. It is about a 1-inch, maybe even 2-inch. No, I'm almost positive it's a 2-inch seatbelt style webbing, so it's fairly flexible. And these carabiners, they don't come with it. I just happen to put them on because I like the quick connect of the carabiner system. And all I end up doing really is I just wrap the rope around the carabiner once, wrap it around it twice, and then begin to wrap the rope around itself twice, and then I just throw a half hitch or a slippery half hitch in there. And then you can always back it off with a half hitch as well. So we come on down the line, and you end up having this prusik knot here with this hook, and it will attach to your rain fly. So like I said, it is tensionable with the prusiks. Makes it very easy to tension out your line. As far as the material of the rain fly goes, it does to me look like it is a calendared ripstop nylon. I would say that it's probably somewhere in the ballpark of like a 70 denier style material with a PU coating on the bottom. So extremely good stuff if you're not really concerned with weight. Then you've got your suspension bundle here on the end of the hammock, which tidies it up pretty well, I would say. Some people don't like it. I happen to really dig it. And then the zipper, pretty strong stuff. Looks good, very thick, very chunky. The no-seam mesh is very thick, very durable. It doesn't feel cheap, light, thin, or easily punctured or penetrated. Now, the actual hammock material itself, I'm gonna guess, is some sort of polyester taffeta. And while decently thick, it is a single layer. So if you happen to be a bit of a heavier gent or lady, you may end up wanting to upgrade to one of their more sturdy models. No metal zip pulls. You've got nice lightweight fabric zip pulls here. You've got your tie out triangle that goes down to a shock cord that you tie out to a tent peg. Works really well. And on the inside, you've got the structural ridgeline with your ridgeline organizer already built in. So this ridgeline is not removable. It's inherent to the design of the hammock that the ridgeline be in place, because the bug net would ultimately just fall directly down into your face. Inside the hammock, you have a section of shock cord, which is removable. It is attached to a loop back there, a ring, a plastic ring, so that you can take it out and then tie it over the top and onto the back side and keep your bug netting up out of your face. And it's pretty much repeated on this side, only in reverse. The Hennessy Hammock Scout Zip is an excellent hammock overall. Now, the few things that I don't like about it is a bit constrictive when you get in. The structural ridgeline, to me, seems a bit low, so your headroom is very minimal. Now, if you just plan to sleep in this thing and that's about it, no big deal. You're not gonna have an issue with it. The ridgeline, but because the ridgeline is so low, it makes it extremely hard to be a sitting type hammock, which if you wanna sit around your campfire, hang out with your friends, and have a beer, it's gonna make it a little bit more difficult because you're gonna have that ridgeline digging right in to the back of your head. I think it's a great buy. If you happen to get the chance, pick one up, see for yourself. If it ends up being a little too small for you, give it to a friend or one of your kids and make sure that they get into hammock camping as well. You can do it as a family, whatever. So I'm your host, Mark Puckett. I'll see you guys again next time.